Thank you for staying with us in the Rise News Now. Now, Nigeria's diaspora has long been a catalyst for economic growth, innovation, and national development. This week, the Nigerians in Diaspora Chamber of Commerce will officially launch in Lagos under the theme, The People, the Business, and the Future of Emerging Markets. The platform aims to harness diaspora expertise, foster strategic partnerships, and bridge the gap between emerging and advanced markets, emphasizing human capital, economic transformation, and collaborative opportunities for Nigeria and Africa. Joining us now is Patience Ndidi, Key, entrepreneur, founder, and CEO of Key Health Solutions, Incorporated. She will discuss the objectives of NIDCC, the role of diaspora engagement in economic development, and how the platform intends to transform business and investment landscapes across Nigeria and the African continent. Good to have you on the show. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Now, let's talk about Nigerians in diaspora. Of course, we know that recently there have been talks about how they contribute billions into the Nigerian economy. But beyond remittances, where do you see the greatest untapped economic potential?
Yeah, the Nigerians in diaspora is a great gain to Nigeria. America had no choice to single us out a couple of years ago as the less than 1%, less than 1% of the black community doing great things in the United States. So it's a great gain that there will be a collaboration between the Nigerians in diaspora and the Nigerians back home, for the future of Nigeria. We come with expertise, we come with talent, we come with innovation, we come with resources, and we come with our partners to be able to invest in this country. I was a former chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, 2017 to 2020, and I advised the government. If you want to talk about DFI, foreign direct investments, the first people you must put on the line is Nigerians in diaspora.
That's FDI.
Yes, DFI. That's
foreign direct investment.
Yes, FDI. The first people you should put online is the Nigerians in diaspora, because just like the stories you hear when some of our elites and governments come to America or elsewhere, the doctors they meet, the nurses they meet, the nurse practitioners they meet, is their own experts. And most of the doctors, that I know in America were already doctors. They were already made here. So they just continue to give value to other people instead of... So what we are doing in Nigerians in Diaspora Chamber of Commerce is to bridge that gap. To bridge the gap between the emerging markets and the advanced markets. They call us developing, they call us emerging, they call us underdeveloping, depending on how it suits them.
Okay, so I know that there have been calls for Nigerians in the diaspora to come home and invest. Doctors, the brain drain we're experiencing, saying that they should come back and bring all of those expertise, the experiences and all of them. But what people in the diaspora keep complaining of is the enabling environment in Nigeria. What other barriers do you think need to be dealt with if we must recoup or get more investment, more foreign direct investment in the country?
We have barriers, that's true. Where do we have those barriers? Like diasporans who have come to invest, is in our leadership. So many have sold their homes and all that and come back home and they lost everything. Okay, so we have a Nigerian diaspora organization, the only organization recognized by the federal government. Okay, if we work with that organization, it's an umbrella organization to every other organization in wherever we are. We're in 6 continents. If we work with our people judiciously, openly, selflessly, with the passion that people are coming home with, it will be a great gain for all of us and all that. So if there's no barriers, if there's no the bottlenecks, that's what we're looking for. So when we talk about the barriers or the enabling environment, is broad. It could be in leadership. It could be infrastructure. It could be in funding and all that. But for me as a diasporan, and as a diaspora leader, I do not think that we should be waiting for government to fund us. It's he who paid the bypass. Yeah. So you're going to still, continue to have the same problem, manage the same problem, talk about the same problem. We can raise resources. We can put resources together to be able to do that.
Okay, so maybe we should, sorry to butt in, maybe we should talk about what actually inspired you to come back, because of course that would lead us to maybe seeing the prospect of other diasporans coming back to the country to invest.
Okay, what inspired me? My inspiration came from having served in NIDO. NIDO is an organization that works hand in hand with the government and power. So you serve with the government of your country and the government of your host country. So that was an open door for me. And I even if you hear it, but now I began to see it myself, that the resources, both talent and the natural resources that we have, builds and sustains the Western world. And for me personally, that anger welled up in me. And that's why, I in 2017, because I was PRO before I became the chairman of the organization. So in 2017, I talked about something. I said, this is going to be one of my agenda. I said, it's going to be a financial system. A financial system could be a bank. It could be a mortgage bank. It could be a chamber of commerce. It could be something, but a financial system, something that can propel entrepreneurship, something that can build entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is the engine of growth in any economy. And when we build our people are very energetic. I always use the example of people on the streets hawking pure water, hawking handkerchief, hawking belts and all that. So if they have that opportunity to have, a model market, something that we can help to advance their lives, that's a great gain, because they're already telling us that they have the energy, they can work, they can sell, they can do peanuts, they can, and all that. So that's what's, informed this. And having also served, I also come to understand that my passion have to be built, accompany empathy and compassion. People say, oh, Nigerians don't listen and all that. For those of us who are already in the space that have the energy, I believe we'll have to help those who do not have the energy to come out from where they are. I also believe, like I said earlier, we should not only be looking at the government. We are and other parts of the Western world, it's only the government that does the job. So instead of just the complaining on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on all manner of social media, we have, our job, the job cut out for us. And this enabling environment that we're talking about, we can actually build it because we have the resources, we have investors, we have partners. Okay. So this is what informed my doing this and also pursuing it. It's been coming for over some years, and I'm happy that we're about to make it.
I know it sounds promising and interesting, especially on paper when you talk about building the enabling environment. But we know that we have issues such as security issues in the country. And of course, it will take the government, the willpower of the government to deal with all of those issues before people can be interested in actually coming around, get their boots on the ground to build that enabling environment we've been talking about. But Peaky Health Solutions operate at the intersection of health and innovation. How do you think diaspora-driven health systems can help deal with all of the deterioration and the challenges we have with healthcare in Nigeria?
That's large, it's broad, it's big. There's a lot we can do in healthcare because the best of the best doctors in US where I live are Nigerians. The best of the best nurses, Nigerians. The best of the best, everything we do, we. So how do we do this? It still boils down, so you just talk about insecurity. Yes, we know about that. It still boils down for us coming back home. It still boils down to us advocating for the policies that can, advance healthcare. It still boils down to us coming down and working with our high institutions, the colleges, where you have a college of health, you have a college of nursing, you have a college of medicine, and nursing and all that. So it still boils down to us working with our counterparts and training, there's something that we created when I was in NIDO, Doctors Without Borders. But yes, it didn't take its course. But it will if we have people who can push that. Yeah. So it still boils down to us coming down. There's insecurity everywhere, insecurity issue everywhere. I'm sure you guys heard some 2-3 some months ago where you have 6-year-old going to school with gun, you have 14-year-old being shot and all that. So things happen everywhere. We cannot run away from our shadows. That's just me. And those who know me, who might be, that is me. We cannot run away from our shadows. This is our country. before I became what Nigeria made me, primary school, secondary school, university, you know. So it boils down to us coming down to make it work. Yeah, I'm not saying everybody should leave and come. Yes, come, continue to test the waters, do all you can, and do it selflessly. And another thing I noticed, we think shaking hands with the government make everything happen. No, it doesn't just make everything happen. Yes, policies, they hold the policies. Like you talk about the security, we cannot secure ourselves, you know, to a great extent. But we can build lives, we can raise entrepreneurs, we can enhance and advance entrepreneurs. And while we do that, there will be less, we won't be having the big issue when it comes to unemployment. We won't be having the big issue when it comes to the crime that we experience today. So those are the ways we can do. And gradually, you know, they say Rome was not built in a day.
We have to go. We do not have enough patience for all of the things we need to talk about. But I must appreciate you for your time. Patience Key, entrepreneur, founder and CEO, P Key Health Solutions Incorporated. Thank you for your time.